it's all about looking for ways to get better. That's my whole life's work. Working with individuals, organizations, communities, sharing ideas on how to get better. And that's my focus here today. I want to just share some ideas on how I feel we as a society can get better. So I got 2 goals for you today. 2 goals for me is, one, that when I'm done with my talk, that you go, I never really looked at it like that before. And 2, that this slide makes sense to you. Okay? So away we go. So I was 20 years old in the Navy when I was provided the opportunity to go to search and rescue swimmer school. I was 20. The command sold the idea to me by stroking my ego. It worked. They said, hey son, you're in shape. We need a rescue swimmer. How'd you like to be able to be the one that we throw into the ocean when things are bad? Okay, and we'll pay you a little extra every month. I was like, sure, where do I sign? Now, what I didn't realize was actually what was going to happen was the Navy was going to give me my first life lesson. See, when I got to rescue swimmer school, 2 things became very clear to me. There are certain essential skills that one needs to develop in order to be a search and rescue swimmer school. Now, one is in the name, right? You had to be a great swimmer. Now, I'm not going to say that I couldn't swim. I just wasn't one that used fins or a mask. It was very foreign to me. So I had a huge learning curve in that respect. But the other deficiency that I had was made aware to me on our first day of training in the pool. See, they take all your gear, they throw it at the deep end of the pool, and they basically say, go fetch. Go in it, dive, get it, put it all on, then come up and clear your mask. That's where I had a problem. See, I didn't wear a mask. I didn't understand the idea of clearing a mask. Anybody ever been in a situation where someone expects you to do something and you're not even clear on what they're talking about, right? Where kind of like you need a certain tool to accomplish something, but you didn't know the tool existed, let alone know how to work it? See, that was my issue. So I came up with a mask full of water, and the instructor shared with me this. Son, you have till tomorrow morning to come back here and demonstrate to me that you know how to clear your mask successfully. See, we were starting in the pool tomorrow morning, and it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So when everybody else was hanging out, resting up, guess where I was? Yeah, I was in the pool learning how to clear my mask. See, that whole training course brought a couple things to my attention. I successfully learned how to clear my mask, by the way, if you're wondering. But throughout the whole course, while everybody else was hanging out, I was spending time working on my ability to swim with my gear, right? See, the only way that you get good at swimming is by swimming. The only way that you get good at learning how to clear your mask is practicing it, clear your mask. It doesn't matter that you can run for miles and do push-ups and all that. In life, there are certain times in life where we need to be very specific and deliberate on what we put our time and energy on to create the changes needed to achieve the outcomes that we want. Let me say that again. There are times in life that we have to be very specific on what changes we are looking to create to achieve the desired results that we want. See, individual commitment to a group effort, that's what makes a team work. See, at that point in time in my life, my individual commitment to my SAR team was learning the essential skills that were necessary for me to do my job. Every day, we have individual commitments to the groups that we serve. What I want to talk to you today about is how to find ways to get better. How to make our ability, how those individual commitments, how we can get those better so we can serve those groups even better. So when I saw the theme, the future of the future, right, a couple things popped out to me. I don't know what the future is. I don't have special talents. I don't have a DeLorean sitting in the garage that I could turn into a time machine. I don't know what it would be. And you know what? There's a lot of different ideas that could be discussed. It really depends on who's weighing in on the conversation, who is at the table. We could be talking about education. It could be about job creation. It could be about another financial crisis and layoffs. Maybe, just maybe, it's about the future is our nation finally coming together and working together. And that we have a bias-free culture in society where we truly do celebrate and respect all of our differences. Maybe it's our law enforcement coming together with our communities once again and establishing trust and respect through compassion. Or maybe we keep plugging along and increase racial tensions. Everyday examples of inequality and exclusion. Maybe it's immigration reform or more terrorist acts. Far and close to home. I don't know if there's a right answer. I don't know what the right answer would be. But I know this. I feel that there is a variable in that equation that we could all agree on, that we need to put more value and focus on, be more deliberate and intentional on how we improve this variable. For me, the human element. See, so my idea was the future of the future is servant leadership. Good leaders must become good servants. Robert Greenleaf shared that idea when he created the book Leadership Servant in the 70s, and he coined the phrase servant leadership. See, why is servant leadership important? Because don't we feel like this? Right? Don't we kind of get inundated and overwhelmed with all the resources and the technology that we have out there? See, as great as the breakthroughs have been, the new breakthroughs have afforded you and I wonderful opportunities. Our world has gotten smaller and more connected. We've got new opportunities in business and education and social causes. Any one of us can be an expert on any given topic in 2 or 3 days by utilizing the web and the resources that are given to us. We could all have online businesses in a short amount of time, have clients that we serve worldwide. And as much as we've jumped forward by leaps and bounds, I feel as individuals, as human race, we've taken 3 or 4 steps back. Because I see every day this disconnect, this awkward situation of how people look and view each other and connect. All day long we're sharing and we're posting and we're liking and we're tweeting our ideas to the world and we're making connections, and somebody just added you to their circle. But are they quality connections? Are they quality connections? See, I feel we need to evaluate where we're at. Are we balanced the way we'd like between using those 21st century technology resources to connect with the world with the old school throwback ways of building relationships? And that's what I want to talk to you today about. See, relationships today are harder and harder to make and create and sustain, and especially for our children in school. And that's why servant leadership is so important, because servant leadership is about developing other people, about having an interest to help other people get better. Now, servant leadership is an idea of a long-term transformational approach towards life and work. An idea of how to create positive change in our society. And as you can imagine, it's pretty involved and pretty deep. And we're not talking about how you could be a servant leader in a weekend. What I am talking about, what goes into servant leadership, and that we can identify a couple traits, now that we're made aware, that we can own to help us get better in how we connect with other people. Now, I'm not going into a leadership talk, okay? So for those that are worried about that, I put you at ease. Leadership in itself has become an exhausting cliche. I know. What I'm talking about is something totally different. Let me put it in comparison like this. It would be like you listening to a Beatles song. Leadership is like you listening to a Beatles song for the first time. And you go, ooh, I like that, I want more. Servant leadership is you listening to every track on every album that the Beatles made to get a full understanding of what impact they truly did make to the world. Right? A lot of time, a lot of investment. What I'm suggesting is we're just going to focus on how you can find those 2 or 3 songs that you really like that move you. Those 2 or 3 traits that make up servant leadership that you can own, and that you know that putting some time, some deliberate time and effort can take you from good to great. And when you share that with your circle of influence, you create a ripple effect in our community. How more effective could we be if we could get better at how we connect with others? How better would our future be if we could all learn how to connect better with others in all areas of our life? See, the Boy Scouts figured it out. The Boy Scouts got it, prepared for life. They know to be prepared for life, it's about giving, not receiving. It's about making a difference. It's about generally having an interest in helping other people succeed and an organization get better. And as great as that is, unfortunately, the more and more I see our society, there's more and more evidence that our society is going in the opposite direction, going away from that. And that supports my sad reality by everyday people in decision-making rules, by the choices and the decisions and the words that they're using. See, every day you and I, we have opportunities to make a positive impact in the lives of those that we affect, that we work with. It's regardless of what your role is or your position. Every day we have an opportunity. Either you capitalize on it or you miss it. Right? See, are people letting you help them because they have to or because they want to? People want you to help them when they know you have a genuine interest in helping them achieve greatness. People want you to help them when they see that you have a big idea, a big vision, and they just want to be a part of it. Where does that come from? That happens when we live in alignment with our ideas, our beliefs, our values. We're in alignment in our character, in our personal and our professional life. And we're an example of what that looks like. It's not about living the perfect life, but we could strive for perfection. Listen, every one of you have experienced moments of perfection throughout your life. The perfect shot, the perfect catch, the perfect presentation, the perfect procedure, the perfect recital. The problem is, we all know that it's hard to maintain perfection. But if you strive for perfection, you achieve greatness. And it's understanding how to do that. It's by understanding how to increase your influence. See, we've all heard that we are all products of our environment. Well, I disagree with that. We are products of the influences in our environment. So the question is, who shaped your world? And whose world are you shaping? John Maxwell teaches us that, you know what? You increase your influence, you increase your leadership. In order to do that, we need to get back to the roots of understanding what holds it all together. See, as I've gotten older, I don't know about you, am I the only one that gets out of bed and pulls something? Right? I've found myself having a whole new respect for tendons and ligaments. See, when I was a 20-year-old back in SAR school, right, I didn't stretch. I didn't look at the preventative maintenance workouts. I just did. See, when we're immature, we just do things and we focus on building what we feel it's important to build things on the outside, right? When we're immature, we focus on building up on the outside. As we progress and get more mature, we realize it's more important to take the time to develop the inside, because that's what supports what we build on the outside. So, what are the ligaments of leadership, the ligaments of success? It's understanding the traits that make up servant leadership. Listening. When was the last time somebody truly was listening to you without making a status update? We want to get better at our connections with people. We need to become great listeners. Understanding how people feel, empathy, relating to them, and letting them know we are there for them and we understand what they're going through so we can help them through the healing process. Being aware. So many times we see examples of people that are just not present in the moment. We've all been to the restaurant where you got the family sitting there and there's absolutely no dialogue going on because everyone's got their face buried in some type of electrical device. You know, we're constantly updating and looking at Facebook and things on the internet like we're missing out on the world when there are people right in front of us that are wanting to engage and wanting to have a moment with us. Conceptualization, thinking and creating together, sparking innovative, new, fresh ideas. Stewardship. Getting back to understanding it's okay and it's a wonderful thing and how rewarding it is to serve other people, to help other people. Building community in your home, community in your home, in your community, in your city, in your organization. Understanding to build community means that you have to understand people and you have to value people. Going back to placing respect on please and thank you. Understanding that it is perfectly okay for you to sacrifice 5 seconds of your busy schedule to hold the door for 1, 2, 3, 4 people, or to let somebody go in line before you just because it's a good gesture. Personal growth. Personal growth is important. That's why we're here today. But more important than personal growth is how we execute personal growth. How we execute what we're learning when we're teaching it. You know, that's why you get music instructors. That's why you have coaches. That's why we go out and get personal trainers so we can learn how to do things the right way. It's time. That's why you get a personal fitness coach. That's why we take music instructors, right? We want the instructions so we learn how to do things the right way, so that we can be very deliberate in what we're looking to create, and that we're able to share with it other people the right way. It's more important to understand how important it is to execute what we're learning and demonstrating. See, it's not just about learning a couple words about empathy and ideas of servant leadership, but how do we implement it? But more importantly, how do we execute it in the real world and influence other people to increase our ability to connect? Because at the end of the day, we got to get back to this. Understanding it's all about capturing people's hearts. That's how we connect with people. By valuing and respecting people. It's been said that you capture a man's heart, you capture their mind. And as I close, I hope that's what I accomplished. I hope I was successful in capturing your heart just for a moment today to get your mind to go, I never really looked at it like that before. As I close, I leave you with a challenge. The great coach Vince Lombardi, individual commitment to a group effort, you know what? That's what makes a team work. That's what makes a society work, a civilization work. See, here's my question. My question is this: who's your group? Is it your family? Is it your home? Is it your community? Is it your job? Is it your church? Who is your group and what's your individual commitment to them? My challenge to you is this, to think about how can you make that individual commitment better in 2016. Colorado Springs, I thank you for your time. It was a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the conference.